Welcome everybody back to another BOLDcast reaction. I'm Lindsay.
I'm Carson.
And today we're watching Tokyo Revengers episode 12. What happened last time?
Last time we completed the arc. Draken was saved. Takemichi was inducted into the gang in his preschool life. And then they went back to the future, and he got a call from Naoto saying, everything's different. Come and meet let's go hang out with my sister. And that's where it ended off. So we're gonna get there, and I bet they're gonna get there, and a truck's just gonna come crashing through the window and kill all of them.
I feel like she's definitely gonna die again. I had also thought that I wouldn't be surprised if he was just mad that now she has a different boyfriend or something, so he goes back in the past.
Oh my god, what if he does?
I was thinking, I'm like, she's probably gonna die, but I'm like, if
he's
this
dumb
guy
enough to
is
not
so
fix anything,
dumb that I wouldn't even be surprised.
If he's dumb enough to not fix anything on through his own planning, he's dumb enough to fuck it up based on not his own planning.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, Nugget. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Support the official release. Like, subscribe. Let's go. I'm scared. Oh, this scene was so good.
Are they replaying this? It was good.
Yeah, remember they do a 15-minute recap?
Why do we have default Russian subs?
It would make just as much sense.
What if they didn't show him, letting him in? What if he's just, outside the window? Akun! Akun! He's just, talking to himself, wiping the mirror.
This scene really made it all worth it. I don't even care about the other stuff. It's so good.
The end. Just closes the video. Who is this? It's see, okay, that's clearly, no, what that is, that's an artifact from the manga of, just seeing the text box without hearing the voice, because obviously in a manga you don't hear the voice, so then we're supposed to be asking, him, who is this? Okay. Let's see, that should be a crossing. Alright, what shenanigans are we gonna get up to this time? It's the proportion from his neck to his head that makes him look like a 5-year-old. No, this is a memory.
Oh, okay.
He's not watching the TV in the car. He smiles. Oh, watching his girlfriend get murdered on TV.
It never even happened. Sweet. That's what we like to hear.
So am I. We're all surprised.
I'm completely shocked. I know you're joking right now, but if you fucking knew what went on, you wouldn't be. Nato looks really scared, or tense. Why are you laughing?
Just they pull into a parking spot. I thought they were gonna crash into the wall. The perspective was so fucked.
I'm so mad already. We've pissed everyone off with this video.
The tension's gone. I don't know. Whatever. I didn't super like her to begin with, so I'm not crazy. And I know that it's not the end of the story. That's the real reason. I know it's not the end of the story, so I know that something's either gonna go wrong. I do wonder what she looks like, but it's just not that exciting to me.
We've seen her in the ED.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's just not that exciting to me because I know. And also, what I like about the show doesn't have anything to do with what's going on right now. It's all to do with Draken and Mikey.
Yeah.
What were we gonna
I know, we saved Draken, we saved the best character, and then we just never see him again.
Maybe we'll find out that Hina's alive, but literally everyone else died in a nuke.
Revenge.
It's called Revenge?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh, never mind, I'm not interested.
An adult? How? I'm still 12 and I'm 26.
She teaches grade school. Wonderful.
Super enthusiastic. I bet she's married.
I kind of hope.
I bet
she
she's
is.
married. If they're 26,
I really hope she is.
If they're 26 and she's out of college, she might be married. If he actually goes back in time to try and try to break up her, try to stay with her,
I would literally lose my mind, but I would actually like it just so I could shit on him more.
Is this an actual memory?
Oh, maybe it is from the first timeline.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
What does that have? How is that true? He's just.
I mean,
he's just pussying out. That's all it is. He's just like he didn't actually gain any confidence. And I don't get why it needs to be like he's afraid of being rejected, but I don't see why that has to do with seeing her alive, you know what I mean? Like, it makes it more about him than it does about, like, her actually being alive, for him to not see her, you know, just as much as it is to see her. To, like, come this far and be like, no, you know what, I'm just gonna get like, I don't know. Yeah, okay, at least he knows that that's what he's doing. Go back up the stairs. At least they get the symbolism right, and he's like descending back down. Oh wow, that's good framing actually. If I ask for any more, is he actually gonna do it? He's considering going back to
Oh, okay.
I'll go back in time.
Oh, there she is.
I would be like, well, she just didn't recognize him.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he looks completely different.
Is it just me? Maybe it's the perspective because he's always around Hina when he's younger. But he looks like he's the same height or shorter when he's older. Because he's always around tall people when he's older.
Oh, she's wearing the necklace still.
It's funny, she actually does look older. As, like, just the subtle changes to her hair and her dress make her look older.
It's, like, so awkward.
I kind of wish she was married.
Yeah.
I would have preferred if she moved on. It seems a bit too good to be true for her to have stayed.
Yeah.
Just, oh, I've been waiting for you this whole
Wearing
time.
your necklace that you gave me.
This is what Erased fans wish
Yeah,
happened.
I know, that's what I
This
was
is
thinking.
exactly what Erased fans wish happened in Erased. Are you screaming that she's right there? You're just like...
I'm not your best friend. You call yourself.
You're a tool for my ambition, you fucking idiot. You
didn't? This is proof he's so unobservant. I can't stand it. Going for a nice little drive. Though I don't like the fact that they're now
What's that
driving
Hummer
around. I know.
Why is that Hummer following them?
No, I don't like that they're driving around because some shit's gonna go down.
I don't know how many Hummers there are in, like, you know, downtown Tokyo in Shibuya.
So it's like coming up behind them.
Apparently,
all
this
odds.
beautiful girl has been waiting 12 years for your loser ass. She's just that pure that she'll wait for the fucking loser for 12 years.
Yeah.
Like nobody else.
You need your backup right away. For what?
A truck just crashed into this building.
Oh no, now they're gonna be driving around.
Yeah, you're 26.
Though I am concerned that you have a crush on my sister when you only knew her when she was 12. Or however old, I guess she
I don't
was
think
4.
he would be concerned if she also had a crush on him since she was 12.
Yeah, but he had a crush on her, like, last week when she was 12. And he was still 26. Actually, she was 14, but even still, same fucking difference. I like how she's driving. I wonder if he can't even
He
drive.
probably can't. He probably can't. I couldn't drive until like 2 years ago. Let's go for a drive. No, wait, let's pay $50 for parking. That Hummer drove by. They're obviously showing this Hummer, and it's probably a Tomon thing.
Going for a walk in some sketchy, unlit place. Oh, it's actually beautiful. Did they go there before?
I'm not sure.
Oh, this is like in the ED. She's
Walking around here. She wouldn't be wearing her ex-boyfriend's jewelry from 12 years ago.
unless she actually just completely forgot about
Yeah,
him.
what if, like, in real life, that would be the real reason. It's just like, oh, well, I've been wearing this
Wait.
for so long. She's talking about him?
Is she talking about him? If
And
she
he
is,
forgot,
I swear.
obviously. Is she talking about him, or is she talking about another guy that recently broke up with
is.
her? Another guy?
No,
Or talking about him?
I think she's talking about him.
I fucking hate this guy so much. What's the matter with you? What is the matter with you? What if that Hummer just fucking rams her into the ocean?
So this is the problem with however he went on to autopilot himself through the 12 years, like, completely doesn't match up with what he actually would have done.
Well, that's not true. Like, this happened in Click as well. I'm citing my sources. Adam Sandler's Click. It happens as well. You, like, fast forward or rewind to a certain point in time, and then there's, like, the gap in between where you act completely different because you're operating now on information that you don't have when you lived your life through that time.
I hope she left. I hope she straight up left.
Oh no, this fucking guy.
You're not in the car. Did they just
You
run
recognize
down
that guy?
That's the
guy.
That's the guy. I know. Yeah, that's the guy with the. He showed up.
He's like the anti-Mikey.
Yeah.
So he's been tailing them?
Yeah. Did they just like blow up the car or some shit?
I bet they did.
And that's it's like, oh, he's not in the
You're not in the
car.
car.
What a tragedy.
Yeah.
Oh well. Yeah.
Or maybe she left.
No.
The car is literally, it's the OP. The car is, she's gonna be in there and he's gonna walk up on it. She's gonna start the car as he's walking up. It's gonna blow the fuck up. Then he's gonna be standing there crying and have to go back in time.
Yeah, I feel bad for her.
Or are they just gonna ram into her?
Yeah, they are.
That's why it's a Hummer? Holy shit. What's Naoto gonna think of this one?
And like, what the? So.
I wonder why.
Akun again?
Wait, what? What do they have on
Yeah.
Akun? They must have some shit on Akun. Why?
Like, he was on a totally
How?
different track than both other times. I wondered too. Even still,
Kiseki has to have some time
he
travel
has
shit.
to.
This doesn't make any sense
Everyone
unless he
in
knows
Tomon
something.
has to obey Kiseki. So even still,
What does he do? What is he threatening you with? If he wasn't in the gang since he was 14, how is he being threatened?
it's the same.
If this was ReZero, you know what we'd be hearing right now?
Well,
Well, what the fuck now?
see,
He can still go back and change it so that this doesn't happen. Is he gonna just have to go back and murder Akun?
he's still alive. Oh, she's in a burning car.
Oh shit!
Is someone else gonna like come out and?
No. She's like crushed. You could see her head, but you like below that
Her
is carnage.
legs.
Yeah. Look down at her stomach. She's probably fucking skewered.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Chopped in half. Somehow still breathing with no diaphragm.
She's not fully in half, she just stabbed.
She looked like she was chopped. She looks like she's chopped in half.
That's just blood on her dress.
I think it's censorship. I think she's meant to be chopped in half. Car fires are one of the most horrific things I can think of. At like dying in. Yeah, that's the OP shot. I'm gonna hold you to that there, Takamichi.
Okay.
I have a real hard time believing that that's how, like, not that that's where this is going to go. That is, like, I have a hard time believing that that Takamichi, when he goes back, that he's going to have the same, like, urgency that he has now. Because that's been the main problem we've had with Takamichi.
Yeah.
Is the urgency. I have a feeling when he goes back, he's going to see Hina, he's going to
be
cry,
fucking
and then he's
around.
going to be just fucking around, going on dates with her or something. Or, like, I just really hope that, like, if this is not the turning point that he needs to,
I don't
like,
know
stop fucking
what
around.
could possibly be, because Akun already watched Akun die before his eyes before. If I guess that like clearly that wasn't enough for him. Maybe now this double.
If smelling
will be-
Hina's burning flesh amidst oil and carnage of a car fire and explosion does not turn him towards, I'm gonna do this puzzle for 3 days straight, to I'm going to treat every situation with the seriousness and introduce doubt into my plans and think at like more than one step ahead into how I can make things happen. I don't expect him to be smarter from this, but I really
driven.
hope that he act like he clearly had this big speech where he said all this stuff. I just hope that in his actions in the coming episodes, this actually takes hold and influences the way that he actually behaves in the story.
Yes.
And we can see this moment reflected in his character growth throughout. Like, I hope that there will be a change. Like, I hope when he goes back now, the way he acted for the first 11 episodes is one version of Takamichi, and then we can clearly see, based on the way he talks or the way that, like, how he approaches things or something like that, that we can see that there has been a marked change in his behavior, not just in, like, his overall goals or his overall perception or anything, but in the, like, perceivable way that he approaches situations. That's my hope going forward. If that doesn't happen, I'll have no hope for this guy. We kind of said it last episode as well. I really hope that it does. I hope that this wasn't just, we joked about a ReZero, like the thing, but it seems like that's what it was with Akun being the one to do that again, because it doesn't...
Yeah.
There has to be something that Kiseki is doing to do that. I hope this isn't what this. Okay, so if I'm looking at this from like a, okay, again, I can't help but look at this from like, okay, I'm a manga author and I'm doing my week-to-week shonen story. I'm doing I gotta send the script off to my editors for approval, and then they send it back and stuff like that. What if like, he did all this stuff and he changed everything. And then Akun does this shit again. And he says the same thing that he said before or something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I hope that it wasn't just that, like, I hope the shock value wasn't just for shock value and there's actually a reasonable thing. Like, it seems like that Akun was put in the driver's seat to give that thing of like, what the fuck is going on here? And then, now we gotta uncover that mystery, but then, like, I hope that I hope there's a satisfying explanation for that.
I agree. I hope that I really hope, because that was the highlight of this episode, was seeing that he was still the one to try and kill him. That was the moment that I, like, became intrigued in the show again, because, like we said, like, all the stuff that we were really interested in before was kind of gone. We were just, like, hanging out with Hina, which is fine, but I'm not super invested in, like, that plot line of him being happy that the girl unrealistically waited for 12 years for him. But what I am interested in is his friend, who we saw and we were so happy that he became a hairdresser and followed his dreams. Yeah. But somehow he actually never escaped. It was all just...
Like, he must have some serious dirt on him, too. Like, he's supposed to be clean. Like, if we take the past to now, there's no way he continued to be in the gang for, like, 10 years. And was also a hairdresser. Maybe in this world, Kisaki, like, had some people, like, he made the connections to get him that job at this really high-profile place, because apparently that was a super...
in this thing, it could have been...
But then why he wouldn't kill his best friend for that? It could have also just been that Mikey was the leader longer, and he, like, it was a little bit more chill rather than... Maybe.
So then he became a hairdresser and was doing his own thing, but then Kisaki still came in,
but
and
again,
no one could get out. But then at the same time, I'm just thinking, like, what is Kisaki doing when was it just later but the same outcome? How long does Kisaki have to, like, get such a hold over these people that they will literally die for him?
Yeah.
And also, like, if we just went back in time and just fucking murdered Kisaki, would that solve this?
Well, apparently Takemichi can't fucking recognize anybody, so he saw Kisaki but didn't do anything about it because he was like, oh, and he even paused. Anyway, my here's my problem with all this is, okay, so episode 4 released on YouTube yesterday, as while we're recording this. And a lot of people, like, that was a big theory crafting episode. We had like an hour-long discussion discussing, like, what we think is going to happen, all the different possibilities for what is going to happen. And a lot of people's reaction to that was, stop thinking about it so much, which I was really surprised about, which tells me that all of this shit of us, like, thinking about how Kisaki could have got in his head and all this stuff is just kind of pointless. It may, like, the fact that the fans of the show, the diehard fans who are out there who are watching reactions of this show up to an hour-long discussion of people enthusiastically crafting theories about the future.
That was the most excited we were ever about the show. We were like, before we said maybe not time travel, everyone was like, no, the time travel's awesome. Next episode, love the time travel. We're so into it. We're building a million things. And then people are like,
you're thinking about it way too much. Stop thinking about it this hard. The time travel isn't that crazy. Don't get that invested. The fact that the fact that people, not you specifically, you out there, but the fact that people, unless it was you, but the fact that people are out there, like, tempering our expectations for the complexity of a time travel show has me very worried about whether or not I should even think about what is happening here. If the most diehard people for the show are like, no, you know, you're thinking about it too hard.
Oh,
just relax. Just turn your brain.
In the time travel. Maybe I literally saw someone that was like, I can't believe they're interested in the time travel or whatever, or like,
not this. Yeah, I saw that comment too.
And not the story. I'm like, the time travel is the story. When I had said, I wish the story was without the time travel, everyone was like, but the story is the time travel. And then when we are like, the time travel's getting really good, they're like, slow
just
down.
Relax, you know?
Focus on the story here. So that's why I'm just like, my
expectations are going down and down and down, and that's not what I want. Because when all this stuff happens, my thing is like, this makes me want to think about it. This makes me invested
But
when stuff like this happens. But when time and time again, my expectations are, it's not just my expectations. It's not like I'm going into this thinking that it's going to be this crazy thing. But like when I don't know, when the author is just taking the most dramatic, the easiest, most dramatic thing that could make you wow at like how crazy things are. Like, it's all about the wow factor. It's all like, I don't know, like whenever my investment and my engagement with these mysteries and these and these plots and everything that's happening and all the different character decisions and the choices that everyone's making and Takemichi's growth and everything like that, whenever my investment in all of these things is rewarded with the most obvious thing and the most like basic and don't think about it, when that's rewarded with, I guess, disappointment, it makes me not want to engage with it as much. It makes me sad because I want to engage with it. I want to get into it. I want to craft theories. I want to figure out what's going to be happening. It just sucks when I get this invested in something and then everyone is like, no, don't get that invested. Just get invested in how cool Mikey is, like.
Yeah, that's what I think, because I see Akun be in the car and I'm like, holy shit, my mind starts racing, and then I'm like, should I even bother? Because I think that anything that I think of, I'm going to be disappointed when it's revealed, if that makes sense. Like, yeah. All the ways that it could play out, I just have zero confidence that it will actually play out in a way that I would think is cool, and more likely it will play out in just a way.
And at least as far as I'm concerned, you can speak for yourself whether you're actually like invested or engaged, but I'm actually invested in the story. I'm at the point where I'm in a place, like, emotionally, when I'm watching the show, that I actually want to like it. I'm in a place where I want to enjoy it, and I want to give it as much credit as possible. So my disappointment doesn't come from a place like, oh, what critiques, what little holes can I poke in this thing? I want to be like, okay, I'll take what you said, show. I'll take this piece of thing. Akuma's in the car. Okay, let's think about, how that could possibly happen. Start crafting theories, and then I just get to the point where I feel like I'm going down a road. I'm going far enough down the road that it feels like I'm going further than the author, or it feels like, I don't know. It feels like
I'm not supposed to.
It feels like I'm not supposed to think about it. It feels like I'm not supposed to theorize about it.
Okay, and here's the thing. I think that there is something to be said for shows that you literally aren't supposed to think about, and it's all for fun. It's all,
right. I 100%
it's all
agree.
Just either like a power fantasy or just this crazy world, this wild ride of action-packed. And there's like really great moments in it, and you appreciate those for what they are. And there's some things that are just like, I don't know why this is happening, but it's fun anyway. And I think that there is a time and a place for shows like that. God of High School, good example. I loved God of High School. Check out our
reactions to that. We loved that.
It was amazing. It was pure fun, and we got into it.
People gave up on that show. And we were like...
We had fun with it, and we gave it a lot of credit where it was due, because there was certain little art, there was some things that was just a fight for a fight, and then some things were really well done, and it was great to see. But this show, I think where my problem lies with it is I went into it expecting that kind of thing. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this or not, but I'm just gonna go into it ready for a good time. But then it's just disappointment after disappointment, and it's like, it's getting to the point where there are very few things that I can pick out that even if I let go, even if I say, I don't care that they're in middle school, I don't care this or that, but it's always something is slapping me in the face. Either it's his stupidity or just like completely unrealistic things that don't fit with the complexity that they're trying to bring in with the time travel and this crazy moment of, oh, it's Akun in the car and he still killed her, so what does this mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't fit with some other things, which is a dumbass main character who's always like, I'm gonna do better, and then doesn't, and I'm hoping that like this is the time, but at the same time I'm like, will it be? I kind of think it won't. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And on your thing of like a dumbass, okay, so what's our problem with Takemichi? He's a dumbass, and he keeps gaining confidence and losing it immediately. here's another character that fits those exact same things that I love. And I'm not even talking about Subaru. I'm talking about Sato from Welcome to the NHK, my #1 favorite show ever. For those who don't know, this does relate to this, I promise. He's in a very similar position as Takemichi. He's a guy, he dropped out of college. He is a fucking loser. He's a hikikomori, he's a NEET. He spends all day spends all day in his one-room studio apartment. No job, no education, no training, nothing. He has no friends, he doesn't go outside, he's afraid of socializing. He has no confidence at all. He lives off of the allowance that his parents give him every month to keep him alive. And he literally just does nothing but masturbate and smoke cigarettes all day. That's it. And the whole point of that show, I'm not going to spoil the show, but what that show explores is this idea of getting out of that. Is it possible to get out of that? What does that feel like to be trapped in this thing where you have no courage, where you have no, like, your strength of character and your constitution is fucking nothing. Like, you just have no willpower to do anything, even though your mind is like bursting at the seams, wanting to get out of the situation, wanting to be the person that you want to be. You know what you have to do, but you just can't do it. That's something to explore. But in Takemichi's case, and I love, that's literally my favorite show, by the way. He's one of my favorite characters. That's my #1 top anime of all time. So it's not like I hate characters who, like, I relate to that kind of character really personally. I went through something very similar in my life. I'm also in my mid-20s, so I understand what Takemichi is going through more than a lot of people. I've been in his exact position. So this doesn't come from a place of like, oh, come on, bro, why don't you just hang out with the girl? It comes from a place of, I know what it's like to be in that situation. What I'm frustrated with is that it seems like, rather than being because I understand it, I see him make decisions that are character decisions, like him running to the bathroom, like him running away from seeing Hina for the first time. And on partly it seems like it's an actual character decision, but partly it feels like a cheap way to roll back the clock because it's more convenient for your plotting and the way that you write the story as an author. It seems like you give your character some growth in that direction, and some courage, and you move him forward and make him three-dimensional, but then that becomes too complicated and it becomes too difficult to write the moments that you want out of the show, like him coming face to face with Hina, or him like, you want, like, all the time that he spent with Hina, the only reason that he went to the bathroom, it was a bullshit plot reason so that he could see Hanma, and then he runs back. The only reason that he went to the bathroom was so that Hina would go back to the car and die. Yeah. And it's like, I can't honestly believe that the reason that he ran away from Hina confessing to him, basically, was a character decision. It seems more like it was just so that this could happen. Exactly. Exactly. And that's the same thing with Draken. It's the same thing with everything. And it's like,
that's what I agree with. It seems like,
and this comes from a place of understanding, because like I said, I understand the struggle that he's going through better than a lot of people. It
seems to me that the character was given this distinct personality trait of the crybaby hero who is messing up and pathetic and can't do shit, because it would be convenient for the story to have a protagonist with that and would allow them to do all these different things.
But then you can't have an arc because if the story is completely based on him making these bad decisions.
Exactly. That's my problem with it, and I also feel that sometimes the stakes, like, don't quite match the actions,
right?
Or just the fact that, like, when we don't get enough, maybe it's that we don't get enough of the inner monologue when he's doing a puzzle for 72 hours straight. It's not because he's so fucking stressed out that he literally can't do anything else, and the whole time his mind is just racing, but he can't do anything other than make the puzzle. It's just, oh no, I did the puzzle, and it's for the joke that Draken comes in and breaks the puzzle. You know what I mean?
I do.
And I just feel like if there was some slight tweaks to it, then I could get behind it, but there's not. Mm-hmm. And it feels like everything, they're either going so surface level that it comes off as stupid, or they're like trying to get deep into it, but like it comes across as forced.
And okay, so I agree. Here's something that maybe we might need to think about is like, how much do we care about all this? Like, if we were watching this on our own, I doubt we would be freaking out this much.
I wouldn't watch this on my own. If I'm being perfectly honest, I would have.
I probably would. I would. I like to stick through with things just to know that I was right. Like, I don't want to be right about all this stuff. I want Takemichi to have good character growth. I want this to evolve into a good, reasonably complex time travel plot. I want this to move forward in a good direction and be good. But I'm not going to know unless I finish it. So that's what I want to say. I want to continue the show to the end. I don't want to drop this show. I want to watch it through and then at least see if my criticisms are founded. But I just feel like a lot of the reason why we bitch so much in stuff like this is a lot more to do with like, I don't think I would bitch this much about a show or any show if I wasn't trying to convince people that I don't just bitch for no reason. I want to convince people, if you're out there and you love this show and you really like it and you're kind of upset that we're kind of trashing it, at least from me, know that I don't want to think ill of any show. I want to give it the most benefit of the doubt possible, but I also want to be honest if the things that are happening are grating against my enjoyment or my sort of investment in the story, because I think it's really important to talk about stuff like this. I think it's really important to accept that something might just be a wow factor, shock value, self-insert sort of, nostalgia fest type thing. You know what I mean? Like an isekai. Like I want to be the guy that like has the girl who will wait for him and all the stuff and have a mission to fulfill and everything like that. Even though I'm kind of useless, if you relate to that and you sort of see yourself in that character, like I understand that, and I don't want to ruin. The point of me, like I bitch, like all the times I freak out about ReZero or whatever it is. It doesn't come from a place of hatred. It comes from a place of wanting to understand what is keeping me from getting super invested in things, or from knowing what I think is good, or knowing what is objectively good writing, or what is knowing how to make a good show. It helps you understand what you actually love and what you actually really care about. That's why I criticize things so much. It doesn't come from a place of like wanting to tear things down or have the right opinion or something. It comes from wanting to understand things better so that I can really enjoy things. It doesn't come from a negative place, even if we do speak kind of negatively about it. That's what I think, at least. So I want to continue the show. I want to finish the show. I want to see it through to the end. And if it does turn out to be just dumb, then hopefully if you're watching, you're okay with us shitting on it just for fun, just joking around about it, not taking it too seriously. Because it seems like the show doesn't really want us to take it too seriously. And that might be fine. It might be a show like God of High School. And that's okay with us. It's just that it's setting these expectations of being something more, something deeper than that, and then not delivering on them. It feels like. So I'm willing to see if Takemichi changes, if the author will actually stick to what they are setting up in terms of his character, and if he really will become the leader of Tomon despite all these character flaws, or in spite of them, he'll overcome them and become the leader and actually evolve into a better person, and maybe he'll be the first one to take the step in a relationship with Hina if he saves her again. I don't know. I'm willing to see it through, genuinely, because I don't like giving up on stuff just because I have some problems with it. Yeah. I don't know about you.
I think... I kind of think the same. Like, I would rather be liking this show. I would way rather just be loving this show. But I don't. So the next best thing is just... is just shitting all over it. No, I'm kidding. The next best thing is...
Are you kidding?
No. Is like... So if we're like... I feel like if I like joke during the episode, that's just like how I'm feeling about the episode when something's happening and I'm just like, whatever. I'm not gonna be like force myself, like, holy shit,
Yeah.
it's Hina. Oh my god, we need to be, like, so fucking zeroed in on her.
Yeah.
And, like, obsessed with their relationship. Instead, if it's just like, okay, Hina's back. She's back now. Let's see where this happens. If I see something funny, I'll probably make a comment about it because that's how I'm feeling. And then something serious happens. Okay, we see the fucking guy. Okay, shit. Akun, and then we see Akun in the seat, and then we're like, okay, now I'm like back into something is going down here. So, this is something that I can this is something that I can like think about here, instead of just like, okay, the girl waited for 12 years and was still so upset and has never loved again.
Yeah.
Instead, I'm like, okay, now we're gonna get back. We're gonna see if he did have character development. We're gonna see, like, what happens next for him, like, what his new plan's gonna be, what Naoto's gonna think about this. So, like, and I'm hoping for the best with that going forward, and if this was just the episode that had to happen to, like, show what could be, and then also what still is, and, like, the problems that are still there, then, yeah.
Then what?
Then that's what this episode was, and I'm hoping to, like, now, continue on into the future. Because I didn't get much gratification or satisfaction from seeing him and Hina have their reuniting moment.
Yeah. And to me, I think the thing with Hina is, so we also really love Clannad, which is a show also with a main girl who is way too perfect for reality, and is like so in love with the main character that it's like almost unreal, you know?
Yeah.
So and I think it works really well in that show. I think that it's possible for there to be the female character who loves the main character unconditionally and will wait for them and whatever. It just feels too much like wish fulfillment. It feels way too much like the author is giving the audience who like, also maybe, again, I keep going back to this. I won't go too into it because I've said it like a million times already, but like, if I'm an author and I'm writing a protagonist that people want to self-insert, he's kind of a loser. He's kind of fucked up. He's not in a great place in his life, but he has the power to change it. He can go back to a time when things were better, and change it, and change his future for the better, and reunite with his friends that, you know, I think back on my life. Oh, wouldn't it be great if I could go back to middle school, high school, reconnect with my friends? Maybe things would have changed for the better. Maybe this shit would have happened. Maybe that wouldn't have gone down, and we could all be like really tight today and stuff like that. That would be dope. And then, back when I was really struggling, then I could, if I went back, then I could, do differently, and then I could actually be really successful right now rather than just, in a studio apartment somewhere. That would be awesome if I had the power to change it. Wouldn't it also be awesome if I had a girlfriend when I was younger, and she was so perfect that she never got jealous, or when she did, it was just fun, and she didn't get jealous to the point of breaking up with me when, I was basically cheating on her that one time in the karaoke room and shit. She doesn't get jealous. She lets me hang out with my friends whenever I want. She will stand up for me and slap the guy if I'm being kind of bullied around or whatever. And she's always there for me, and she'll wait for me for literally more than a decade just because of this 1 month where we dated in middle school. Wouldn't that be awesome if a girl was that in love with me and she was this beautiful and she wore my jewelry that much longer? It just seems like she's written too much to be somebody's dream, that it goes too much into the waifu territory and not enough into
I actually care about
her or their relationship, because their relationship seems so like fabricated, like it was made in a factory to be the perfect thing that somebody would desire if they were in Takemichi's situation.
And then we come into the future and we get the confirmation she is the perfect girl. She did wait for him. This is anything you could ever want, but she's taken away again, and now it's like, oh, now he doesn't have to be a loser, but he really has to work for it this time. Yeah. And she'll still be there for him.
And who knows, maybe this will change. Again, I'm open to it does, like, if I'm being 100% honest, I do not expect things to be any different going forward based on what I can read out of what the author is trying to elicit in the audience. It doesn't seem like the author is trying to be a super complex, like, create a super complex story that's, you know, with a really dynamic main character who gets the confidence. It seems like he'd way rather rely on this, you know, the stuff we've already talked about and the wish fulfillment and stuff like that. But I'm open if that's what I really think is going to happen, but I really am open to it, like, me being wrong. I want me to be wrong and for Takemichi to completely blow my expectations out of the water and be a super fucking badass.
I would love nothing more than to have just, like, shit on the show for all this time and fucking memed on it and joked about it, and then all of a sudden, like, before I can even notice it, I'm, like, genuinely invested.
Exactly.
Like, that would be
I would love, if you put it right, I would love
the ultimate
nothing more.
Scenario for this going forward is that this was how we had fun with this part of the show, and then like you
psych, it's actually dope.
Actually good, and like it's so good that you like don't even know, like just gradually it just becomes so good, you know what I mean? Like that's what I would love, if just like one episode where like, holy shit, I can't even believe that this is the same show. Like, it's somewhat similar, like we're watching Clannad After Story right now, of like, oh, we hated
no spoilers, motherfuckers, for Clannad.
We hated all these moments back in like part 1 where it was just dragging along and doing this and doing that, and then I can't even believe it because right now I don't even remember all of that. I only remember the good times and the amazingness that is happening right now. You know what I mean?
We talked about this when we talked about that exact thing in Clannad, but it's like with Naruto as well. It's like so many people don't remember the Tenchi Bridge arc, or they only remember the badass parts of the Tenchi Bridge arc of Naruto Shippuden, or they don't remember all this fucking really terrible parts of part 1 of Naruto. Mm-hmm. They just remember the story and how it flowed and the different plot points, and they remember it from point to point, but they don't remember everything in the middle. I'd love to have that kind of impression of this show, to at the end of it be like, oh yeah, it was such a meme at the beginning, but then when you fucking really turned it around and actually gained confidence and the character growth stuck and he really, like, you know, did shit. Yeah. I would love nothing more than that. That's where we're at. Hopefully, if you love this show, you aren't listening at this point. If you really love the show and you just hate, and you know, don't care about our criticisms, then you aren't here. But like, hopefully, if you are, then you enjoyed, and you will continue to enjoy our reactions. I hope that you've found something at least interesting in what we said and our perceptions of the show, and hopefully that will make you think about the show a little bit more, because, you know, I think that's really important. I think it's really important. That's why that's like the main thing that I think separates our channel from other reaction channels, is that we try to understand the story or understand the craft of what's going on here. At least that's what I try to do with the channel, and I try my best to, like, hopefully impart some sort of understanding of, like, writing or like plot progression or something like that, and people can take that and go along and maybe build up their own taste or understanding of their own shows and think about things in different ways. My thing is not to try and, like, have the right opinion or make people hate the show that they actually love, but, you know, question what they actually like about it, so that they could find those common things through other shows and find something they might like even more. That's what I really want, because that's what I try to do with watching anime on my own. So we hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you leave a like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.